In this video, I'll give you an overview of the books we'll be reading and the movies we'll be viewing, although I could say the movies we'll be reading just as much as the books because we'll be paying very close attention to the details, the texture, the movements, the narrative structure, and so on in the films, just as much as we will in the books that you might be more used to doing with books, short stories, poetry, and so on. On this page here, English 2100 Books and Movies, which you would find under the resources element in the menu here, we'll take a scroll down and first of all, I've got some comments about the various versions that you should be getting. I'll go ahead and read through this just to make sure I don't leave anything out. I'm excited about teaching the amazing books and movies that we'll be working with this semester, and I believe you will be too. But before we get started, I want to give you some guidance on how to gain proper access to materials we will be studying. And once you have a clear sense of which versions are appropriate, you can start ordering your books and movies now so that you don't miss out on an important graded assignment due to lack of materials. So now I'll go on about the required versions of the texts and movies. First of all of the works that I list below are required texts, which means that you will not succeed in class if you do not have proper access to them. You might have seen the Matrix movies in the past, for example, but you cannot rely on that past experience to be able to engage in the conversations and exercises we will be creating together this semester. Second, in some cases, I require that you work with specific editions of books or DVD collections that contain materials not available through other means. So I've written the following comments to guide you as you seek the least expensive but proper versions of our works. So where to get access to your books and movies? Well, hard copies of all the books and movies are available on Amazon. And by that I don't mean hardback versus paperback, but actual paper books versus the digital online versions, although you'll find those on there too, such as Kindle. And will likely be cheaper than at other stores. But you can find some, though not all of them, on movie streaming channels such as Netflix, Cinemax, or Hulu. So if you have access to any of these online movie services, you can get access to a few of our movies for free, meaning at no extra cost beyond what you might already pay in subscription fees, which might be paid for by your families already. The books. We're using only 3 books this semester, or technically 5 since our graphic novel comes in 3 volumes, but each one is critical for your ability to complete our class assignments, so I strongly suggest that you get both physical and online versions of each book. All prices and venues are accurate, at least as of this date, December 5th, 2018. It's actually January 12th right now, but I haven't looked up all of these. I looked up some more recently and indicate those dates if things have changed. Things might change as time passes, as they already did in a couple cases. Whether you choose a hard copy or a Kindle version is up to you. While I prefer hard copies so that I can hold the book in my hands and underline directly on its pages, online or downloaded versions provide you with the ability to copy and paste text directly from the book, saving you unnecessary typing time. In the end, I myself like to have both hard copies and digital copies for varying reasons. In a face-to-face class, I would ask you to have hard copies because finding specific pages and passages in digital copies can take some time. But in our online class, this time element is not important. The Hero with 1,000 Faces. This is key book for framing our understanding and discussions of the movies we Okay, let me start that sentence over again. The key book for framing our understanding and discussions of the movies we see this semester is Joseph Campbell's The Hero with 1,000 Faces. And I go into why I'm using that book in the video on the role of the hero in our class. You'll see the link to that on the Introduction to 2100 page. You will see that the hardback copy is actually cheaper than the paperback on Amazon. Right now, $15.60 versus $17.98. Any used copy will do as well. And if you type Hero with a Thousand Faces online into Google, you will come up with digital versions that you can use for copy and paste functions. The book is quite long. It's over 300 pages, so I wouldn't suggest, depending on a digital version, to read through, because we will read the entire book. Uh, but uh, but it is good to have the digital copy so you can do cutting and pasting, especially if you're going to do a long paragraph or so on. Keep in mind, though, the plagiarism goals to avoid presenting that material as if it was your own. If you don't already know about it, you should bookmark the URL for the online used book site bookfinder4u.com. You not only will find the cheapest available used copies here, but can also have shipping costs included in the total price, which can often make a big difference. Sometimes the shipping fee is only a penny. Other times it can be $15. So it's good to have that sorted out for you. But in any case, the shipping might be $15 and the book is a penny, and that might turn out to be cheaper than some of the other versions. The Black Panther graphic novels. We will read the 3-volume graphic novel series Black Panther, A Nation Under Our Feet. Black Panther volumes 1 through 3 by Ta-Nehisi Coates. The total cost for paperback volumes, at least in the beginning of December, was $31.33 at this moment. The total Kindle cost is currently $26.97. And if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you can download the first volume for free, leaving a balance of $17.98 for all 3 Kindle volumes. Finally, if you happen to be a subscriber to Amazon's Comixology comic book service, your total would be $15.28. But given the $5.99 monthly fee for Comixology, I wouldn't sign up for this just for our class. If you're already a member, then this might be worth it for you. There are digital versions available online if you know how to search for them and download the necessary application to display them. But that'll take a little searching skill on your part. So here are the covers of the first 3 volumes in the Ta-Nehisi Coates series. And again, this is all part of one particular storyline called A Nation Under Our Feet. Neuromancer. I mentioned this briefly elsewhere. William Gibson's book Neuromancer is available on Amazon. The hardback copy is priced the same as the paperback. You can also find used copies. While there are digital text versions online, I still recommend that you get both the hard copy and the digital versions. William Gibson's book Neuromancer oh, okay. As you can see, I accidentally repeated that paragraph there. So I'll go ahead and remove that in a later version. Movies. Here is a key place to pay attention. Important. Do not simply rent online versions of any of our movies. They only give you a chance to watch the movie once or within a 24-hour period, usually something like that. You will need to watch them a few different times and be able to refer to specific scenes in the films. And this won't be possible with a one-time rental. So you will need to buy the recommended DVD, or Blu-ray of course, versions, or buy the online streaming versions, or subscribe to a movie service that allows you to watch the same movie several times and be able to scroll through the films in order to find your way to different scenes and passages. As you will see, I am drawing mostly from Amazon for prices and version availability. You can occasionally find a good deal for used movies on eBay, but be sure that the versions match my descriptions below. And what I want to point out, I'll be making this clear below, but I did just mention you might get streaming versions. Some of these DVD collections, though, have features that are not available on the streaming versions, so make sure you pay close attention to how I describe them as we go down through here. So chronologically, the way the movies will show up in our course, in case you're getting these one by one. We begin with Pan's Labyrinth. While any version of Pan's Labyrinth will do, I recommend the Criterion Collection version, which includes important interviews with the director. For some reason, at the time of this writing, the Blu-ray version is cheaper than the DVD version. The simple DVD version right now is $9.99, meaning that's not the Criterion Collection version, but there's a good chance you want access to the extra materials in the Criterion version. In those, the director Guillermo del Toro goes into a lot of detail about the decisions he was making as he was creating the film, how he imagines the story unfolding, what he's responding to in the creation of it, and so on. And these will be important features for you to have access to. Streaming versions are $12.99, but again, the streaming versions are unlikely to have the extra commentary on them. In this case, I will basically leave that up to you, and I will, but we can talk about that more in the future. And update, as of January 6th, just the other day, Pan's Labyrinth is available for free to Netflix subscribers. Avatar. You may have seen this movie already, but again, you're going to need to have a copy of it to engage with it in detail. I'll be providing you with intensive lecture videos that I have created in which I discuss in depth certain themes and aspects of the film that I want us to focus on. This means that the specific version of Avatar is not critical, although the 3-disc DVD version provides you with an extended director's version of the movie, as well as important background documentary features. For instance, in the first disc, you have opening scenes in that collection that are not in either the theatrical release or in the original DVD release. So you get some scenes set back on Earth before everyone leaves for Pandora. If you prefer to purchase a streaming version, the original movie version is available on Hulu as well as on Cinemax. Be sure to buy the streamed movie rather than rent it because you will have to watch it several times and refer in detail to specific scenes in the film. Black Panther film. The 2018 Black Panther Marvel movie is available in various formats on Amazon, meaning Amazon.com, as well as, at least the time of this writing, for free with your Netflix subscription. One reason I say at least the time of this writing is that there was a hint that that Netflix might drop the movie on January 1st. I haven't actually checked to see if that has happened, so you might want to check that right away. Don't depend on being able to watch it on Netflix just in case it has been dropped, but you can find out if it's there for now at least. And here is an especially crucial collection here. You might have seen all three of the Matrix movies, but this collection here has several different features with it, and for whatever reason, it comes in 6-disc, 7-disc, or 10-disc collections. I have the 10-disc collection. They're actually the same thing, but they're more compressed on the 6-disc than on the 10-disc, of course. But anyway, I want you to have access to this entire collection, and it's entitled the Ultimate Matrix Collection. There are other Matrix Collection versions, but they do not have some of the key features here. This Ultimate Collection contains two more very important movies. Animatrix, which is actually a series of short animated films that are building on some of the themes that the original Matrix movies had started to develop, and Return to Source, Philosophy, and the Matrix. But those are only two. There are several other really important features that are included in this. But these two will play an important role in how we talk about the movie. So it's important to have access to them at least. So if you find a way to get a copy of Animatrix and Return to Source, again, if you're a sleuth of sorts online, there are ways to find these things. By all means, go ahead and do that. But for the most part, it'll be a lot easier, and you'll be in much safer shape if you go ahead and get the Ultimate Matrix Collection. And of course, I don't have any financial connection to any of this. I don't make any extra money or anything like that by suggesting this version versus another. It just gives you a full set of material, and we'll spend the entire second half of the semester with the Matrix. The four-disc collection entitled The Matrix Collection contains the trilogy, Animatrix, and some important extra features, but not the short film. Well, it's not short, it's actually over an hour film, Return to Source, or any of the other features which are important. A low-quality version of Return to Source currently exists online. You can squeak by with this option, but you might miss out on some other key features. In other words, there are some ways, if you're handy enough in getting your way around the internet, to put all this together, but the total cost of the collection, oh, now that I see I haven't put the price on here, I believe it was about $30 last I checked, which is not bad given that you have the three full original Matrix movies, which would have sold at probably, $20 a piece, the Animatrix movies and all the other features. So it's definitely a good deal no matter how you go. It's difficult to, if you even buy them used, to come up with all of this together for much less than that. So I suggest going with the Ultimate Matrix Collection, and it's available in different formats and sold by different sellers on Amazon. I'm mentioning that because it is not currently in print, so to speak. It's being sold. It often will be listed as new, meaning nobody has used it before, but it's being sold by individuals who bought it and then sell it on their own through Amazon. They do it. They do so for different prices and so on. You want to get a look at that. The cheapest one I found, there were only 5 copies in December. I actually wrote to that seller, but that was all they had. But the other ones beyond that weren't that much more expensive. So take a look and see what you find on Amazon. You can get good deals on eBay for used copies, and I, of course, don't care if you're using new or used. I have not had trouble buying used copies online, but there always is the risk that there could be a problem with something. Even if you can get it fixed financially with the seller, that might interfere with your getting to see the movie in time. So just be aware of that. And in any case, for full access to these features, be sure that the name of the collected discs is the Ultimate Matrix Collection. Okay, so I've sent a few emails pointing you to this page, so you're probably already aware of this, but I wanted to make sure I go over it again in this feature and explain a little more of the details. What I'm going to do now is bring you over to what I've created, a course calendar, to give you a sense of when we will be using these. And I will stop this video now, and I'll do another short video going over the calendar that will follow this one.